Hey everyone, Ivy Lee Gaming here, and today we're playing Dragonheir Silent Gods. For today's video, I'm going to give you 5 important tips for starting off any season efficiently. So first of all, if you haven't already started playing Dragonheir, it is available on Android, iOS, Mac, PC, Steam, and Epic Games. You can use the link in the description and the pinned comment to download the game. There's also a couple great promo codes and some more. Dragon0322 and Dragonheir S3. Make sure you use them as shown on the screen for the sake of the capitalization, as it is case sensitive. But yeah, I'm here on Season 3, guys. So for me, Season 3, Echoes of the Deep has started. This is going to be a really fun season as far as new synergies go. I really like the combinations. There's going to be even some community challenge events, Easter events, half-year anniversary, celebrations, and lots of fun stuff to come with the game itself. But regarding the season, we have, of course, a new setup, new rewards, and there is actually new hero types. My favorite hero of the season is Cinderella already. I love this hero. I made a video on him that's already posted. Also here, this is really cool. The different synergies, again, is what I really like this season, the different pairings. This is a great one. Sigrid and Voresh, or any of the amazing Radiant supports along with our new fire heroes. And Wild are going to rule a Vortex again. There's new bosses, new dungeons, new equipment to put on people, and some really cool new artifacts. So I'm actually looking forward to properly using some of these new artifacts, like the Ghost Captain's Hook here. There's going to be more quality of life optimizations, and we even have a new hero class, although I stuck to the female human this time around. Although there is a male Highlander, which is like a male human. That's nice to have added to the game. And just a little teaser, guys. Season 4 is going to have a desert-themed sandbox. So just wanted to let you guys know that that is a really cool new style. We're going from the water to the sand, right? We had our islands, and then we're going to have a sandy, hopefully, I guess, desert-type area afterwards. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that will be. There will also be another D&D collab. We had Elminster and Dristo Erden so far, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the next one will be. And just a quick note, the reason I have no face, and if my voice sounds a little bit wonky, I did have a little bit of a condition happen. I do talk about it in this video, so go ahead and watch that if you don't really know what's happening, but hopefully I will have a quicker recovery soon enough and be back to normal. But no matter what season you are on, if you're starting Season 1, Season 2, or Season 3, I have 5 tips for you guys to help you progress. The very first week of gameplay, like as I am in right now, I am only on day 6, but it's so crucial. There's so many amazing things you can take advantage of and ways to start off strong to where you'll be able to rank very easily if you do some proper practices. So first off, I want to mention using consumables. Like, I know this might be a little bit underrated and people will probably stop using them later on, but early on, using consumables can be such a key to winning or not. Like, I need to go and grab some resources around the world here in Season 3, but I'm going to show you guys, like, there's a lot of times I just can't win. So I do have a pretty good whale-looking account. Not going to lie, it's pretty stacked. I am farming Grave of Venom 7 already. I started farming that in the first day. I did show this in my video. But when it came to farming Grave of Venom 7, I was not able to do so without a consumable. Now, I got some level 90s. We have 4-star characters. I probably can. But before that, I was having my tank die. The tank dying first is always the issue. Make sure when you're doing Grave of Venom, you have your tank to the max level you possibly can. They're probably the most important part. But I had Elminster, actually in different gear. He's usually, this is not the setup I use, don't mind that. This is the setup I use. But without the level 90 characters and are finally progressing, if you want to farm Grave of Venom 7 on day 1, you're probably going to struggle keeping your tank alive, or yeah, just whatever. So that's where consumables come in. I was using consumables right away. A defense percentage stuff with like lightning or fire damage was really great for me. That was a really big key to help me be able to actually farm this properly. So don't be afraid to use your consumables. I was using them there. I was using them in my flame domain because flame domain sucks. I'm sure you guys all would agree flame domain is really, really hard for the early game. I'm trying to like manually do it on stage 4. And I was accepting some extra max HP in order to do so. But also for everything, don't forget, like even something as simple as Goblin. If you're just trying to push through Goblin and 3-star something, give yourself an attack-related damage consumable. It could be the difference between 3-starring or not, so don't forget to take advantage of those. And tip number 2 is going to be about AoE heroes. Focus them first. People always wonder, who should I build first? If you're on season 1, you're probably going to build your Traveler, which is not a bad thing at all because they can switch affinity, which is amazing. When they're fire, they have an AoE ultimate. When they are lightning, they do as well. So you can kind of use them with whatever synergy you need to get like the 3 synergy pairing at the very least for your setup. But you need to be able to farm potions to make your heroes higher levels to get more heroes leveled up. So don't go all in on your Vortex team first. Like, I'm gonna go with Flora again this season. We're gonna do Wild team with Flora, Erich and Tunnelnon, and then probably Ardreth and Cinderelle for my support, or the Unkillable team with Ogak and Zephy. That's kind of my startup plan. But if I started with Flora as my very first level 90, and all I did was focus my Vortex team, I'd have a bunch of single target people trying to farm Goblin, and it would be impossible to get other characters leveled up. So you really gotta focus the AoE people early. And Sigrid is one of the best examples of this. You just want to pair her with someone else who is going to place debuffs on all the enemies first, and then have her go, and she's going to smash. She pairs really, really great with Frost heroes. You could even use Usha as your Frost applier instead of damage dealer with Sigrid because she's going to place Frost and that's going to count. Boresh places his full board debuff. He's perfect with Sigrid. That's going to count. But depending on your season, you can try to synergize that really well. Poisons, again, are another debuff. So if you have someone like, I don't know, Horus, I think would be a good example probably. He can pair with Sigrid and place some, well, actually no, he hits enemies under poison, but his battle skill at the very least places poison, so he could help keep up some poisons for Sigrid to smash. And yeah, you really don't need anything too crazy. Like, obviously, I have an Inspired 5 Drist. I'd be crazy not to use him in Goblin. I'd be dumb. But this is really what you want to focus. You want to make sure that before your reset period ends, and you have to decide who you're building, that you've locked in a solid core of AoE damage dealers that can farm the highest stage of Goblin. And that's kind of what I was doing here, was figuring out what can I do to easily farm Goblin. So that's the first focus. But on the note of that, you're actually going to be the most successful if you can try to synergize what you're using for Goblin and Vortex. So like my Goblin team is probably going to change. I might actually take out Drist and Oster, and I might go ahead and put in Theoden and my lovely new aura people that are not exactly the best in the game by far. It's a little bit of a struggle trying to use these aura heroes, but at the very least, they would be the same synergy as my actual, Vortex team. So they're going to benefit as we build up our Psychic Core. They're going to benefit. But you know what? I want a mixed roster now because if I go all in on only Fire and Radiance for the very first week, it's going to be pretty damn hard to get enough Ascension materials to level up. So this is a smart way to start. Have a mixed roster, like a different synergy. Like I have Fire, or sorry, I have a couple Fire, but Ice and Poison are my main team for Goblin. And then I'm going to have Fire and Radiance as my main team for Vortex. But as I farm more Goblin and can build more heroes, I'm going to choose a Goblin team and maybe other dungeon teams that have more of a core that match the same synergy. So I want to be able to take advantage of all these elemental bonuses, right? We're going to build up our Psychic Core. And later in the season, if you want to easily farm Goblin 3-star, the hardest level, you're going to be building out based on one focus at a time. And that one focus at a time is going to make those heroes really strong. So if you can find a good core team that can do bosses really well, like a wild team doing Vortex, and then you can do a AoE team, like a burn or aura team to do other content, that's going to really help. In Season 3, Ice and Poison is really amazing as well, with Sigrid and Voresh, plus the Icy couple. That's going to be a really strong pairing. Plus, Ice Blast is still top tier for Vortex as well. So if you go Ice and Poison, you can focus Ice Blast for Vortex and some bosses. And you can focus Frost or Corrosion actually as well. Don't forget that for some other stuff too. So it's a really good way to try to synergize and be able to take advantage of your Psychic Cores. Try to keep that in mind for your future building. But once you've got a team of another synergy or another element that can farm for the element you need to work on the most, they can't be the same. You know how hard it is to farm those stage 4 and stage 5s of the domains. Then you can actually go and start to work on having the same AoE and single target as your synergy. But make sure you can farm the domains first. Next tip is going to be to make sure you use this torrent. Rebuild your heroes. If you're not using such and such person at the moment and you want to go do something, let's say I want to go farm the flame domain to work on all of these fire and radiant heroes that I want leveled that I haven't even leveled yet. Like I need Carf for my Venom team. All right, and I'm going to need Ascension materials for the ranking, right? So I'm not going to be using fire to go farm that. So I should probably go reset someone like him. Boom. Uncheck the box so it doesn't steal from your arena people as well. Boom. All right. And then now I can go and actually bring someone in that's going to help me farm for what I need. So definitely use the reset feature. You can constantly do this all day long. Like, all right, Thea is the great example of someone for some debuff immunity. Cool. So I'm going to go use her in Flame Domain. Boom, let's go farm that and start to work on more of my heroes. Like, this is kind of the strategy. If you go to do something and you realize, oh crap, I didn't have enough, I need to actually do someone else, you can just immediately switch them back. Like, oh wait, never mind, I don't want to use Thea after all. I changed my mind. Boom, instantly. This is how quick and easy this is, guys. Like, this is huge. No one should be locking in one team on day one and only worrying about those heroes. Everyone should be taking advantage of that reset feature. When you're ready to go do Vortex, max out your Vortex team. I'm gonna go make Flora level 90 instead of Drista Worden. You know, I'm going to reset people so that way my whole team is level 90 instead of a bunch of level 70s, right? Take advantage of that to get the best scores you can and to be as efficient as possible. There's no reason to farm Goblin Layer 2-5 with your Vortex team if it's not AoE. Why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense. You know? So that's kind of the strat as well to consider, and make sure that you're always able to farm the best and highest levels within this 7-day reset period while it's here. use it before it's gone, right? Use it before it's gone. And on the note of before it's gone, I would say your goal should be to have a solid goblin team that can farm Goblin 2, Stage 5, 3-starring it, whatever that takes. Make sure you can do that. And that's the core team you focus first. Then start to build those secondary characters for something like Vortex, probably as well. And that's going to be your main focus. So don't lose sight of the hero reset event before you've chosen your perfect goblin farming team, because this again is the key. And last but not least, my tip for today is going to be to do Fey Meander every day early on in these seasons as soon as it unlocks for you. Season 1, I think it takes a little to unlock because you got to get there in the story, but the other season it unlocks right away, and every single day you can do a few levels. And these resources are very, very precious. The later you get into the season, the less you're going to care about a blue scroll or some terrible forged materials, you know, or like just a little bit of these lower level stuff. The higher you get, the better the rewards, and the longer you wait, the less the rewards are going to matter. If you wait until the end to do your Fey Meander, you don't even need half the rewards. So you might as well try to get them early on in the season when they matter most. Even Labyrinth of Curiosities, boom. I already unlocked one of them and I did it immediately. That's Wormarrow. That's part of a future summon. So, you know, try to do this as you can every day, or pick a day of the week where you blast a whole bunch at once and try to take advantage of the rewards early on. That could be massive for your account. Every little bit of this like psychic core material, the affinity solvent, is really important. So this is a really great place to get it, to try to push your account as far as you can go. But yeah, that's all for today's video, guys. Hope these tips were helpful, and I will see you in the next video. And if you haven't already, be sure to download Dragonheir Silent Guides now using the link in the description or the pinned comment. It's available on Android, iOS, Mac, PC, Steam, and Epic Games.